Hello, welcome to Java with Jara, where we discuss timely issues impacting the Clark County School District with CCSD Superintendent Dr. Jesus Jara.
Well, thank you. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing good. Well, I'm Amy Wagner. I'm principal of Boulder City High School, the world's largest, best high school, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Well, no, thank you for being here, and it's exciting. And first of all, congratulations, our Principal of the Year last year, which is great. Thank you so much, and taking time to be here with me.
Well, thanks. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, good.
So, Dr. Jara, on January 31st, you will be hosting the 2020 State of the Schools address. So, tell us a little bit about the progress toward the promises that you made last year.
Well, first of all, it's important to really update the community on some of the things that we're doing. I think it's important to just bring progress. But I want to go back. To start off with, I'm really addressing. So I said, a lot of the things that we talked about with the operations, with the efficiencies and some of the work there, and then just updating the community. So really a lot of the work that we have been doing as a school system and really giving credit. So I'm going to start with celebrating our work, right? Our principals, our staff have been doing some amazing things and putting some foundational takes in our school system. For example, we're spending a lot of time on professional development for principals, some things that haven't, happened in the past, which is investing in people. So we have the NISL work, we have the work around the our leadership pipeline, our professional development. So those are some of the things that I'm going to talk about. The other thing is really the assessment, right? So we have a balanced assessment system, which is from kindergarten to ninth grade. For us as a school system, it's the first time that we have an adaptive assessment. So now we can look at from Boulder City, how my ninth graders are doing in Boulder City, to not only here in the city, but all the way to Moapa and Laughlin, Nevada. So it's a balanced assessment system. So some of that work that we have been doing as a school system. And then the big one, it's really around celebrating the success. We have our magnet schools, then we have some schools that have gone up from, an increased 3 stars that have gone up to 5 stars, celebrating our principals and then telling the story of our kids.
That's so important to tell the story of our schools, because our kids in our schools and our leaders are doing amazing, wonderful jobs. And so it's important to celebrate those stories.
Well, absolutely. And I think, and share the success of the kids that are going through so many barriers, and then that human element that we have to celebrate, that our public schools are working. It really, that's the message. Our public schools are working. What I need to do is go from the pockets of excellence that we have to then having a system of excellence. So that's one of the things that, to me, it's going to be celebratory, to then also share where the progress, and then set the vision of the next steps for the following year.
Well, I'm looking forward to that message. Can't wait to hear it.
No, absolutely.
So from a principal's perspective, it's really important. You talked about this just a minute ago about professional development and learning opportunities for current and future leaders, because that's super important. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing in that area.
Well, Amy, and this is some things that we have, that I hear from principals. We as a system have not invested. We left it out to the schools. And I think that is something that we haven't had an opportunity to do so. So we brought in national experts, the National Institute of School Leaders. That is really, so we have a cohort of 100 principals that are going through that process, and it's a year-long process.
I'm in that cohort.
Are you? So tell me, how's that going?
It's really wonderful. Opportunity to be studying with other leaders in schools and going through that process with we call it NISL, and it's really, really good for us.
Well, to me, it's the experts are here. The experts. So how do we invest time, give you that opportunity to get out of your building, to then sit with your colleagues? So that's one of the things that I'm excited about. Then we're looking at, we're one of 90 districts that with the Wallace Foundation, we were selected as part of that work with Wallace to identify that leadership pipeline. Because, we have we're seeing the projection of retirement. So how do we invest in more and building that leadership pipeline? So we're going from teacher leaders all the way to executive staff. What does that look like? And to really reanalyze those. So we're excited about that opportunity as well. And then we have, with this partnership with NWEA and ANET, is doing some on-the-job coaching of principal teacher leaders, looking at data. So it's just really an investment in people, investing in time, not pulling them out of other schools, but also in on-the-job training.
Well, feeding and growing our principals and leaders is super important. So we're excited to be a part of that group as well. So moving forward, thinking about next year, what are your thoughts for next year, priorities? I know we're looking at continuing with focused 2024 with our strategic plan. What are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, no, and to set the vision forward, we just released an equity commission that looked at our systems from pre-K all the way to high school. Is how do we provide more opportunities for our kids? So wherever you go to school, from Boulder City to City of Las Vegas to anywhere, and you should have the same opportunities that all kids have. Now, there's a challenge because of funding and size of schools, but that's not the kids' fault. Right. I mean, and these are things that I struggle with at night. Is how do we provide for all our children a high quality education? So to me, equity and access is critical. So we just released this commission report that I just received from the business community and municipalities as well. That kind of came in and looked at under the hood, looked at all our data, pre-K access. That's a priority for us and for me as superintendent, because the earlier we get them, the better it is. So that's important for us to look at. We're seeing some gaps, so working with the county on that. That's number one. Our middle school, access to the curriculum for Algebra 1 and geometry, where no matter where you go to school, you should have that opportunity. And then our high schools. How do we then help our high schools so we can have more advanced courses? So AP, dual credit, IB, and some of the CTEs. The jobs of the future haven't been invented.
It's true.
So it's how do we then help our kids to become thinkers, innovators, so when they leave us, when you give that diploma, they walk out and they're ready for college and career. And so those are the big priorities that are already aligned in the Focus 2024. So for us, that's going to be what our focus is for the next year.
Well, 24 will be here before we even know it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us with Java with Jara. And if you have a question you'd like to ask our superintendent or an idea for a future Java with Jara, please send it to the email on the screen. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.